The Illinois Department of Transportation. Wildlife Corridor Highway Program. You are right here, right now. In the heart of Southern Illinois. The Illinois roadside wildflowers. The prairie is not so much a place as it is an experience. It is an ever-changing kaleidoscope of brilliantly colored flowers and plumed grasses waving in the wind. It and its plants have such intriguing names as rattlesnake master, compass plant, shooting star, gay feather, and big blue stem. Only a small fraction of Illinois' original 22 million acres of prairie remains. The Illinois Department of Transportation is involved in a number of programs to restore wildflowers and native grasses along many of our roadsides to offer a sense of this experience to future generations. Today, less than 2,300 acres of high-quality prairie remains. There are 4 distinct prairie types left in Illinois. Walk down this pathway to catch a glimpse of the animals, grasses, and plants of woodland, mesic prairie, dry prairie, and moist prairie. It is a journey of change in color, size, density, species, and season. In the woodlands, early spring flowers such as spring beauty, trout lily, rue anemone, martensia, and bloodroot take advantage of the sunlight cascading through sparsely vegetated woodland trees in March. April showers bring mayapple, blue phlox, jack-in-the-pulpit, red trillium, and Dutchman breeches. Beginning in June, Culver's root and nightshade begin to bloom under the forest cover. In the mesic prairie, the moderate moisture soil supports the growth of Indian grass as well as big and little bluestem. Some of the first wildflowers to bloom are woolly blue violet, common milkweed, black medic. Starting in June, the pale purple coneflower and smooth sumac, St. John's wort, and purple and white prairie clover dot the landscape. In late summer, the partridge pea, ironweed, showy goldenrod, and black-eyed Susan bloom in splendor. Turkey vultures scavenge for food, and the prairie kingsnake feeds on small reptiles, birds, and insects. The Viceroy butterfly is seen May through September, and the monarch butterfly is abundant in late summer and fall. The indigo bunting feeds on the grains and berries of the mesic prairie and builds its nest out of dry grass, leaves, and bark strips. In the dry prairie, typical dry prairie grasses are side oat, grama, 6-week fescue, Indian grass, and little bluestem. In May and June, the prairie coreopsis, New Jersey tea, prairie violet, lead plant, butterfly weed, green milkweed, and wild bergamot bloom throughout the prairie. Later, rosinweed, prairie sunflower, compass plant, wild quinine, purple nest in the prairie purple coneflower, royal catchfly paint the dry prairie. The eastern meadowlark makes its nest in the prairie vegetation, while the black swallowtail and cloudless sulfur butterflies visit the prairie wildflowers. The legendary harbinger of spring, the woodchuck, digs burrows with large visible openings in the dry prairie habitat, and 13 line ground squirrels hide its burrows deep in the prairie. In the moist prairie, the moist soils, the first spring prairie flowers include cream wild indigo, blue wild iris, golden alexanders, fringed loosestrife, and mountain mint. Pale Indian plantain, compass plant, prairie dock, and golden glow add brilliant colors in midsummer. Late blooming flowers such as smooth aster and New England aster and Jerusalem artichoke are seen beginning in August. The big and little blue stem prairie grasses are common in these areas. The eastern box turtle and common garter snake inhabit moist prairies, as well as the skipper and buck-eyed butterflies and the red-winged blackbird. The Illinois Department of Transportation program, Corridors for Tomorrow, has planted 5,500 acres of flowers and grasses to stimulate an environment that can be seen as a historic prairie landscape. Today's roadside prairies are a mix of native and non-native species chosen for visual interest and the ability to thrive under roadside conditions.